Hi folks, Dan from Smash Grapes here. Thank you for buying your Easter tasting kit. Now, whether you've got chocolate or you've got cheese, we're not here to tell you which wine goes with which. The simple fact is, enjoy it on your own terms. When it comes to cheese, the salt and fat will make any wine taste fantastic. And with chocolate, the reason we put dark chocolates in is that bitterness does actually complement wines. So, stay tuned for our taste along video and come back and spend your £10 voucher on your favourites. Here we've got the Umbrella Pinot Noir from the Vili Tinasuli region of Romania.
Pinot Noir is one of the lightest red grapes. That makes it really nice and easy drinking. If you are new to red wine, maybe you're a white wine drinker transitioning to red, or you just want an easy drink in red, Pinot Noir is the grape for you.
Yeah, as I said, we are in Romania here, and if you're new to Smash Grapes, we are massive fans of Romanian wine. Not only is it fantastic quality, but it's actually really great value for money as well.
Yep, it's got a similar climate to the region of Burgundy in France. If you know your wines, you'll know Burgundy is where all the posh wine comes from. It is probably one of the most prestigious places to get Pinot Noir. If you're drinking red Burgundy, it is Pinot Noir. Similar weather means similar quality, and they really do produce Pinot Noirs at that top level.
Yeah, one of those things that make this Pinot Noir so light and easy drinking is it's not loaded with those tannins. So if you're not into that kind of bitterness that you sometimes get with bigger red wines, this is great.
Yep, the tannins come from the skin of a grape, and this is a thin-skinned variety. Pinot Noir has got very thin skins, so as Dan says, you don't get those bitter tannins, making it silky smooth. Thin-skinned grapes prefer a cooler climate, and what does that mean? Well, a cooler climate means high acidity, and high acidity in red wines means tartar red fruit flavours. Think cranberry, raspberry, maybe a bit of strawberry in there.
Yeah, I mean, I've nearly finished this glass. I absolutely love Pinot Noir. I love this one as well. What are we having this with? You know,
it's great on its own. Definitely an on its own red. You can even try it chilled in the sun. It's pretty tasty. But if you're going to go with some food, roasted birds, your chicken or your turkey, think cranberry sauce. The two go together really well, and it's light enough to go with a white meat.
Well, sounds great.
Cheers.
This is the Palazzo Del Mare from Sicily in Italy.
Yep, this is a Nero d'Avola. That's the grape inside this wine. What is Nero d'Avola? It's a native grape to the island of Sicily, very similar in style to Malbec.
Yeah, Sicily is this little island off the coast of Italy, and historically it's not had a very good rep, has it, for winemaking. But really in the last 10 or 15 years, thanks to some investment from their government, the winemaking has got really, really good.
Yep, that's right. And Sicily is a very hot, very exposed island. What does that mean for the flavour of the wine? Well, all of that heat means super ripe, juicy grapes, full-bodied red wine here, but also the skins of grapes, which provide all those bitter tannins, get softened by the extreme heat. So you get very full-bodied, but low tannin wine. Fuck that up. I wasn't sure what I was saying.
Right. Here we've got the Palazzo Del Mare from Sicily in Italy.
That's right, this is a Nero d'Avola. That's the grape inside this wine. Nero d'Avola is a native grape to Sicily, very similar in style to Malbec.
Yeah, Sicily's that little island off the coast of Italy. Historically, it's not had a very good rep when it comes to winemaking, but in the last 10 or 15 years, thanks to some investment from the government, their winemaking prowess has really come on leaps and bounds.
That's right. Sicily is a very hot, very exposed island right in the middle of the wine, where we're talking big, ripe, juicy reds, full-bodied here. Not only that, that extreme heat really softens the skins of grapes, and that's where all the bitter tannin is, so you get lovely, velvety, soft reds.
Yeah. I mean, we all know the Italians can make a good red wine.
That's right.
And Sicily, you know, it's one of those kind of slightly lesser-known regions where, you know, you get great value, but you do also get great value as well going for some of those lesser-known native grapes, like you said, that have similar equivalents.
That's right. Look out for Frappato. That's another red grape. Rio and Catarratto are white grapes. As Dan said, all of them offer a similar experience to some of the favourites you know, but with better value for money.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. What are we having it with?
Big bold number like this, got to be a bit of beef. But for me, one in particular is burgers. Love burgers in Nero d'Avola.
Burgers and a nice red wine.
Cheers.
Here we've got the Costa Vera Cabernet Sauvignon from the Central Valley in Chile.
That's right, Cabernet Sauvignon is French Bordeaux variety, over from the Bordeaux region in France in about the 18th century. It's a full-bodied red wine. It's about as full-bodied as you can get from a grape.
Yeah, Central Valley and Chile in general, they've become absolute masters of classic French varieties. You've got Chilean Chardonnay, Chilean Sauvignon Blanc, Chilean Merlot, Chilean Cab Sauv. Like, why are they doing these wines and doing them so well?
Well, the thing about Chile, it's in a very unique position, thanks to its geography, to turn the dial on its weather, on its climate, use mountainous region, and therefore it can decide, it can look at a grape and say, right, do I want this in cooler climate or hotter climate? And by making the decision on how high or low up the mountain to plant the grapes, it can turn the dial to the weather to suit the wine.
Now, I've just had a little swig of it then. I'm no expert, but it's giving me like real Ribena vibes. Like, what is going on there?
That's right, the signature flavour of Cabernet Sauvignon is blackcurrant. 100%, if you're tasting blackcurrant in a wine, it's probably Cabernet Sauvignon. There's also a hint of mint in Cabernet Sauvignon, or mint leaf. If you taste that in there, you're probably drinking Cab. The tannins in this one, the bitterness that you get from red wine, are actually quite low. It's probably from a cooler part of Chile, but they can get pretty big and deep.
I mean, I'm loving drinking it, but what would I be eating?
It's big, bold flavours, so you need big, bold flavours from the food. Something gamey, maybe lamb, duck, or if you're feeling a bit fluffy, some venison.
Someone's doing all right for themselves. Anyways, excellent wine.
Cheers.
Right, here we have Le Xian Rouge from the Roussillon region of France.
Yep, this is a field blend. What does field blend mean? Well, it's a mix of grapes. The winemaker sort of throws out different varieties into the field, lets them all grow, brings them all together, and blends them to make one wine.
Yeah, so Roussillon is part of that larger region called Languedoc-Roussillon. It is the largest winemaking region in France and actually offers really, really good value as well. It's right down the bottom. It's southern France, isn't it? On the border with Spain.
Absolutely, into the Catalan region between France and Spain. It's the hottest part of France. What does that mean for the wine? Well, it means juicy, juicy grapes. Grapes are out there in the fields, all that sun coming down on them, they get super ripe, super juicy. We're talking dark fruit flavours, plummy, dark cherry, blackcurrant, all of those sorts of lovely dark flavours.
As wine buyers now, we tend to focus on single varietals, and that just means where you have one grape in the bottle. A bottle of Sauvignon Blanc, a bottle of Merlot. But obviously, like you said, a field blend is that blend of all different stuff. And, that's nothing new. Some of the biggest and most famous wines in the world are actually blends. Chateauneuf de Pape, Bordeaux, Rioja is a blend. So there's nothing wrong with those field blends.
Not at all. Blending offers balance. What do I mean by that? Well, balance is a bit of a posh word for wine. It's about bringing together all the different elements of the wine flavours together, all at the right levels to make a tasty wine. So, for example, acidity in wine makes it refreshing. Sweetness in wine makes it moreish, makes you want to have more of it. Tannin in wine leaves that lingering flavour in the mouth so it lasts longer. Balance in wine can be achieved by blending, and it brings all of those nice little elements to make the perfect tasty wine.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely get a taxi home after this. I love this one. It's a great
It
wine.
is good.
What are we having this one with?
A juicy wine like this needs some rich gravy. I'm thinking maybe stew or shinner beef, something like that.
Ooh, now you are talking.
Cheers.
We've got the Ignacio Marine Tempranillo. This is from the Cariñena region of Spain.
That's right, Tempranillo, a medium-bodied red grape, the most widely planted in Spain. Most famously, it's found in Rioja, where it's the main grape that's blended with a couple of others for Riojan wines.
Yeah, I mean, when you think of Spanish wine, and red in particular, people tend to instantly think about Rioja, but it's actually a very small winemaking region. Spain has so many others. Fantastic wine.
That's right, and just like any wine, even if the grape is the same, the region can have a huge effect on the flavour. So in the north, Tempranillo from Rioja can taste completely different to Tempranillo in the south. This one is kind of in between, and so you've got a mixture of red and dark fruit flavours.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about fruit, but I'm also getting like kind of vanilla, some kind of like woody bits in there. Where's that coming from?
Woody bits, yeah, that's right. This has had 3 months in oak. It's an oak red wine. And well, it creates that vanilla-y, toasty flavours in there, but what it also does, a bit of time in oak softens the tannin, softens that bitter flavour that you get in some red wines, makes it more easy drinking.
Wow, love it. What are we eating with this one?
Tempranillo is a great all-rounder. It's great for the dinner table, goes with most things like tapas.
Yeah, good. Muy bien.
Muy bien. Cheers.
Here we've got the Felicet Granasch Noir from the Languedoc in France.
That's right, Grenache Noir, or just Grenache as it's sometimes called, comes from the Côte de Rhône region, south of France, just up the road from the Languedoc. Grenache there is blended with a few other grapes to make some of the most famous Côte de Rhônes, including places like Châteauneuf-du-Pape.
The Languedoc has the nickname in France of the wine lake. That's just purely because it produces so much wine. I mean, the wine lake, definitely somewhere I want to visit. Offers really good value. But you do have to make sure you're picking the right ones to get the right quality.
That's right. Grenache on its own, not blended, but Grenache on its own has had a bad reputation in the past. It tends to get a bit overripe and becomes sweet and sickly. However, handled carefully by the right winemaker can make fantastic wine. Grenache is a sun worshipper. It absolutely loves the sun's rays. It drinks them in to create lovely, dark, jammy flavours.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you love a big, jam-packed red wine, you know, we know all the brands that are out there. You don't actually have to go down that road with some of those big brands. You know, real winemakers have been doing jammy for a long, long time.
Yeah, that's right. The difference in this is that the hard work is done in the field. That lovely jammy flavour is done by the sun, whereas with some of those bigger brands, they achieve this after the grapes have been picked, using things like powdered sugars.
I mean, I am a big fan of a jammy red, like loving that. What am I eating with it?
Grenache goes great with rich tomato-based dishes. Anything with Mediterranean herbs is fantastic as well, which incidentally grow right alongside it in the south of France.
Great stuff.
Cheers!
There you go. Those are the wines that feature in the Easter tasting kits. If you fancy coming along and taking part in one of our live tastings on the last Friday of each month, then you can join our Try Before You Buy virtual tasting. Head over to smashgrapes.co.uk, click on Try Before You Buy, and use code EASTER to grab yourself 50% off your first Try Before You Buy virtual tasting kit. See you soon.